Alright, Trickers and Truckers, time to take a look at the final episode of the day, which is Soldiers of the Empire. Dr. Bashir treats Klingon General Martok for an injury he claimed he suffered in Holosuite. Bashir chastises him for disabling the holodeck safety protocol and for refusing to replace his maimed eye with an artificial one. Afterward, Martok visits Worf on the bridge of the USS Defiant. It's clear that the two men have come to have great respect for each other following their imprisonment in internment camp 371. Worf apologizes for inconveniencing Martok by causing his injury during a training session. Martok then informs Worf that the Klingon High Council has assigned him a mission, his first since their escape. He offers Worf to be his first officer aboard the IKS Rotaran, a bird of prey. The son of Mocha gladly accepts, explaining to Captain Benjamin Sisko in his office that the general had saved his life while imprisoned at internment camp 371. He explains that he had been about to let the Jem'Hadar kill him when he and Martok experienced a moment of Tovadok, which is a moment of clarity between two warriors on a field of battle. This encouraged him to continue fighting. Worf doubts that a human could understand this. However, Sisko relieves Worf of his Starfleet duties and places him on an attached leave to the Klingon Defense Forces. Their mission is to find the IKS Bamoth, a battle cruiser that has been missing for 3 days. Dax, jumping up with the opportunity of being on a Klingon ship again, decides to come along, while Kira, Mouse O'Brien, and Bashir are assigned Worf's regular duties. Worf chooses not to wear his baldric while aboard the Rotaran, as House of Mok no longer exists. He sees no point in displaying its crest. Despite the vessel's string of defeats by the Jem'Hadar in the last several months, Worf accepts the crew's battle records and pledges their lives to General Martok. Martok accepts the crew's lives and orders helmsmen to set a course for the nearby Tombeek Nebula, claiming that he wishes to avoid a confrontation if there should be Jem'Hadar ships hiding in it. Helmsman objects, but obeys the order. Once they've warped away, Worf starts to sing the Warriors' Anthem. Some of the others join in, but it's a dour, unenthused version of the song. Worf and Dax immediately realize that this mission is not off to a good start. Dax arrives in the Rotaran's mess hall to find Orticon sitting in her assigned seat. She throws him on the floor and threatens him before sitting down. She then tries to brighten the mood by informing the others that she has brought aboard 3 barrels of blood wine from Deep Space Nine, which the crews have had for 6 months. Meanwhile, Martok and Worf discuss the crew's unsatisfactory combat record. Both realize that one defeat after another has taken away the crew's motivation and has even led them to expect it in battle. They both agree that a victory would do much to lift their spirits. They promise each other they will soon make the ship worthy of the Empire. Back in the mess hall, the crew drinks Dax's blood wine and discusses their previous failures in battle. Cordon claims that the ship is cursed and that they will never be victorious in battle. Just then, a klaxon goes off indicating that they have cloaked. Wolf calls alert status 1. The Jem'Hadar patrol has crossed their path. Despite the ship's and the crew's readiness for battle, Martok decides not to risk attacking the Jem'Hadar ship, claiming that the real mission is to rescue the Bamoth. Even though the crew strongly disagrees with this, Worf refuses to challenge Martok. Dax warns him that a dangerous situation is developing. At the mess hall, the crew members get drunk and Liskid begins analysis of the Jem'Hadar after he speaks admirably of the Cardassians he fought against. He says that the Jem'Hadar have no honor. They have been bred for battle, and that makes them more efficient than Klingons. He even interprets the recent decisions of Martok as a fear of the Jem'Hadar. Suddenly, Kronan goes berserk and attacks Liskid. In the fight, he nearly kills Orticon, who came to the rescue. Dax ends the combat by shooting Kronan with a phaser. Worf runs to Dax in the corridor and notices the bloodstains on her uniform. She informs him what has happened and once again warns him that it will only get worse. A little after, the Rotaran crew picks up a distress call from the Bamoth. It is an automatic transmission indicating that they were attacked by the Jem'Hadar. Several Tensu casualties are in need of assistance. They set a course for the coordinates. T'Vana thanks Dax for interfering in the fight and saving Orticon, her Parmakai. Worf and Martok discuss the distress call. Martok is convinced that it is a trap, that the Jem'Hadar purposely left survivors aboard the Bamoth in order for someone to come rescue them, or that they may have faked the distress call. Excuse me. When the Rotaran arrives in visual range, the rest of the battle cruiser has drifted into Cardassian space. The crew is ready to cross the border in order to carry out the rescue, but Martok refuses to take them across, signing strict orders from the High Council claiming that there must not be survivors anyway. He then leaves the bridge, Worf decides while talking to Dax that it's time to challenge him for command of the ship. Leslie, Cordon, and several others confront Worf, saying that Martok must die for his lack of honor and demanding that Worf and Dax leave the ship. Worf nonchalantly refuses to back down to the threat of mutiny and silently signals to Vanna and Dax. Suddenly, Orchikon and a few Klingons arrive at the bridge with disruptors drawn to support Worf. Breaking the tension, Worf orders everyone to battle stations and states his intention to rescue the Bemoth, which leads the would-be mutineers to fall back in line. Surprised by the tactical alert, Martok returns to the bridge and Worf challenges him. It's clear that the crew can't stand another defeat, and Worf wants his friend to see that. In the following struggle, Martok again feels what it is to be a Klingon, and when Worf realizes he has made a point, he lets Martok defeat him by stabbing him with a Tatok knife. With a Tatok knife. When the Jem'Hadar ship is detected nearby by Tavana, a reinvigorated Martok promises to make the Jem'Hadar regret crossing them. This time, the crew are further behind him and sing the warriors' anthem much more enthusiastically. Dax carries an injured but much at ease Worf to be treated. Later, the ship returns to DS9 on a triumphant note. They destroy the Jem'Hadar ship and rescue 35 crew members from the Bemoth. The scope of their success allowed the High Council to easily forgive their crossing into Cardassian space. Indeed, they commended the crew's bravery. The crew was completely changed by the recent victory, and Martok requests 15 barrels of blood wine to celebrate this. He later comes to Worf to thank him for making him remember what it is to be a soldier and a warrior. And Worf admits that when he let Martok defeat him, he wasn't sure he wouldn't kill him. Mark is impressed by the sacrifice Worf was willing to make, and makes his friend an offer. He mentions that Worf still wears the crest for the House of Mog, and Worf admits that Jadzia considers it a sentimental gesture. Martok offers Worf a new beginning as a member of the House of Martok, telling him he is proud to welcome Worf into his family as a warrior and as a brother. Worf accepts and replaces the House of Mog crest with the one for the House of Martok. The two warriors and brothers clasp hands in victory, signaling a new beginning for Worf. Oh, that's awesome. Yee. So anyway, let's take a look at some production notes about this episode. This episode began shooting on February 24th, 1997. The warriors' anthem, first heard in the CD-ROM adventure Star Trek Klingon, enters Star Trek canon in this episode. Let's see the return crew breaking the song. Assistant Director B.C. Cameron said, quote, "Everybody sang. All the background players, the extras, the crew. We had big cards with these Klingonese words written on them for the actors to read. For days, that's all you'd hear on stage. People singing this battle song," end quote. There's a short scene of Dax pushing some buttons on a control panel. Ronald D. Moore commented, quote, "Dax was sending a message to Ortikon, to find his lover, warning him of the impending mutiny. Ortikon shows up on the bridge a few seconds later with two other armed Klingons. The cutaway to Dax didn't read as well on camera as we'd hoped, and now Ortikon's arrival is a bit mysterious," end quote. And now finally, let's take a look at some trivia surrounding this episode. Worf becomes a member of the House of Martok in this episode, something which has great implications for the future. The ICAS Rotaran makes his first appearance in this episode. The Rotaran reappears as Martok's command ship in Sons and Daughters, before being replaced by the ICAS Chitang and once more into the breach. The Rotaran reappears and tacking into the wind. No stardate is given in this episode, but Worf makes a combat log on the 53rd day of the year of Kalis 999. Note the Klingon years do not match gender Terran years. Armin Shimmerman and Kara Lofton do not appear in this episode. So overall, I really do like this episode, and hey, I'm a sucker for a really good Klingon episode, and this is definitely one of them, so yeah. So overall, I give Soldiers of the Empire 5 warp cores out of 5. When I tune tomorrow as we take a look at the next episode, Children of Time. So, until then, live long and prosper, everybody.